What do you both tell your single, lonely friends? I'm 26, a guy looking for a girl. I'm from a small town in the UK, a guy who loves US and UK sports.
Oh, it's so nice.
But I can't fill the void that being single brings. Any advice? So your misadvice,
Not
Ernestine.
misadvice, but I
No?
do give some advice to my friends.
Yeah,
Well,
Hazel's
as I seek advice
uncomfortable
from
with
my
this
friends.
question.
But
She doesn't have a good answer for
to
it.
me, I know everybody says you have to go on dating sites. And I don't know, maybe long ago when dating sites first started, they were different. But I know now dating sites are not the greatest. My sister Joyce, who is single and does not have a relationship but would like to be in a relationship, she has been on at least 3 to 4 dating sites consistently. She did not want to do it. I coaxed her into doing it without her even knowing. So what I did, typical Lucy episode here,
Lucy Ricardo
I
here.
filled out the application for all of these Match.coms and whatever else there are. And I then told her after the fact, and she said, well, why would you do that? I didn't want to do it. I said, because Joyce, how else are you going to meet somebody? Nobody wants to do the way I believe is the best is through people you meet someone. If I've set many friends up throughout my whole life, and they've worked, but I said, listen, let's take a chance. So she didn't want to do it. But what I started doing was I would pick out the guys and respond to the guys
Like
on
you're
my
Joyce?
email like I was Joyce. But the problem is when I told Joyce about the guys, because some of them responded back, she said to me, that's not my type. Why are you doing, that's your type. I don't go for artsy, creative types. I go for more business-like. I said, but Joyce, look at, he's cute. He's
Did you go out with any of them?
Yeah, I went out with them. I forgot to tell you the date when you thought I went to the movies. I was out on the date, and so it wasn't working because my taste is different than her taste. And I kept saying to her, "But look, this guy is nice, and he works in the music industry." And she's like, "I don't want to go out with somebody in the music industry." So I don't think that you can. I know people. I always see fathers put their their daughters on Match or whatever dating site it is, or kids do it for their parents. I think the best way is just to find someone through friends. And I think you have to spread the word. I do it all the time with my sister. Whoever I meet, I always say, hey, do you have an uncle? Do you have a brother? I have a single sister. It hasn't worked yet, but maybe one day. But I think the dating sites are overrated. I know a lot of people have met their love of their life on a dating site. And I think that's a miracle. I really do.
I do too.
But I think if you've been on them lately, the pictures of these people, they post pictures when, if the guy is 50, they post a picture when he was 14.
Yeah.
And they also, everybody wants the same thing. They want to take long walks on a beach. They want to go walk hand in hand and experience life. And it's just so ridiculous. Nobody wants to do regular things. So finally, my sister broke down and she wrote what she thought she wanted. I want somebody who doesn't want to scuba dive. I don't want them to, hike, whatever mountain it is.
Yeah.
She said, I just want a guy who wants to go to a movie and have dinner. And still, there's nobody. They do respond, and then immediately they ghost you. So I think it's a lot of hoo-ha.
And she tried, didn't she go out with 2 or 3
She went out with it. They were losers. They were just total losers.
Yeah.
And they're just, I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope for the Match.coms and the whatever J dates, and we've done them all. And I think that maybe if you're lucky, you meet one person out of 8,000 that'll work. I think personally, you have to spread the word for your friends and people that you meet that you're looking for someone. And I think you could do a long distance relationship. Maybe if he met someone that even lived in the U.S., you could do that. We did a long distance.
Well, sort
Connecticut, New York for 10 years.
Okay, but I saw you every Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, but still it's long distance. And I know people have long distance relationships.
Okay, but he can't fly to the U.S. every Friday and Saturday.
No, but maybe, who knows?
No,
you can now, people Zoom and they get to know each other, but maybe he could find somebody where he lives.
Okay.
What's your advice?
So, Richard, I do agree on this point with my wife. I know these dating sites advertise we've got 50% success rate or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And I just don't buy it.
I don't buy it at all because I've experienced it.
I haven't. I haven't heard enough. Here and there, I've had a friend who did connect, and it did work out. Hazel doesn't know anything about this because she's spayed, right?
Oh,
So
she's
poor
not
Hazel.
interested. She wants a career.
Okay. But look, this is just me. I don't believe you can count on meeting somebody on a dating site or meeting somebody in a bar. I just think it's like...
I think a bar, people meet in a bar. I would rather go to a bar these days and take my chances there than these websites. The website is $150 for 6 months. And honestly, I could write a book about this along with my sister. It is a terrible place.
Okay,
People are liars, and nobody is real.
And I'm with you. I just think the bar mentality is the guys are looking for not for long term.
I don't know. I know a couple of people that met in bars and they got married. I think maybe bars were not the same now as they were back in the 70s when it was a pickup place. Bars and clubs are a good place to meet people.
Yeah.
And
I
don't know.
To me, Richard, it has to be meant to be, and I don't want to get too spiritual about this, but you just have to trust the higher power that there's somebody out. I guarantee you there's somebody for Richard out there.
Yes, of course.
Now, he might find that somebody, because he's a sports fan, if not a sports nut, they're going to have to give in to that and accept that, or he's not going to be a happy camper.
Look, I am not a sports person. No, I know now about sports.
From day one, because I declared myself up front, you accepted what it was.
But maybe he has to just open his spectrum a little bit and not. We talked
Saturday
about it
night, but Saturday night, I told you, starting at 5:30 Pacific time, I'm going to watch the Lakers.
I know the drill by now, but I've been with you for a while.
And I'm going to do a video after the game, and then it's going to be okay.
Yeah, but he needs to maybe open his, broaden his criteria and maybe go out with a girl who doesn't like sports, but maybe she'll end up liking sports.
Okay. So I look back at how I met the women in my life, and by far the most important woman in my life was you.
Thanks.
And I was single in New York City for an entire year. I was right at a year. I was right at a year when I met you.
Yeah.
And I met you by total meant-to-be accident at my show one day when you brought Kevin Dillon to the show to be on the show, and you're in the green room, and I accidentally ran past the green room and saw you.
Right.
And the rest is history.
Right.
As you always say, after our lives were never the same after that moment. Okay. But I didn't go on one date for 1 year in New York City. So I'm a single guy. I'm on television in New York City. And it wasn't that I wasn't open to it. It just didn't, Hazel, it just didn't work out. It just, like, nothing ever clicked. There was nobody I wanted to go out with. And I'd come out of another relationship, and I was kind of happy being single. And I do want to say, for single guys out there, I know it's a fine line between being lonely and being happy.
Yeah.
But with Joyce, sometimes I think she's happier just being Joyce.
Well, no, she would like to find a relationship, but when you don't have an alternative, you just accept that you're single and you're not with someone. So what are you going to do?
But sometimes you can be pretty happy being by yourself.
She's not ecstatic. She would love to meet somebody, but it has to be the right person.
Okay.
Why waste your time with these people that are just total idiots and losers?
Okay. So I say to Richard that sometimes you just have to kind of trust the universe, like it'll connect you.
I don't believe that, but I think you have to steer it a little bit. I say you have to open yourself up. I go to the grocery store, and if I'm talking to a guy, I look immediately to see if he has a wedding band on, and I think, oh, maybe he's okay for my sister. Oh. And then I
thought you were going to say maybe.
He's okay for me. But no, and also my best friend Francesca, who's a doctor in New York, she's always looking at her patients, saying, oh, do you know somebody in L.A.? I have a good friend in L.A. because she and Joyce are close. So you have to spread the word a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Okay. There's no cut and dried answer to this.
No, but I think there's somebody you're going to get somebody because you're open for it.
Okay. But just be careful, Richard, that you don't just give completely in to somebody and you wake up one day married and very unhappy because you've met all of her criteria and conditions and none of your own.
He hasn't even had a date yet.
Okay, all right.
He's trying to find somebody just to watch a game with.
Heads up on this. I'm trying listen, got to keep your eyes
I'm going to help him find somebody. I'm a good matchmaker.
Okay. And then, I think we're going to talk about this even a little later, but we have a friend who's going through a breakup right now, and you look at that and you say, oh, man, sometimes love as hell. I mean, it can
Yeah,
just
but
be.
sometimes, but that's life, that's life.
What's the old expression? It's better to have loved and lost
And
than
to
never have loved at all.
So,
Okay, so I'll buy
Richard's
that.
going to get
I do
somebody.
buy that.
I'm going to try to find him somebody.
You're gonna
I know
find
some
somebody
people
for
in
Richard in
England. I do.
Belport. Do you?
Yes, I know some people.
Richard, you got
I'm going to try to
the
help
all-time pit bull on your side
Yeah,
and on your case
because he's
right
so
now.
sweet. He wants to find someone.
The
That's
hound
what
of the Baskervilles is sitting
Me.
right here. She
I
will
don't care. I want him to
hunt
be happy.
down your mate for life.
I will help him.
Yeah.
That's
And
my
I
word.
Hope it works.
All right.
And I hope
You'll
you
be
don't come back
surprised,
to
and then
us
he can get
at some
married on our
point.
show.
Yeah, that's right. You can get married on our show.
Yes.
And you can maybe get divorced on our show.
No, he's not getting divorced. He's going to find somebody good, and I'm going to help him.
Okay.